You will be amazed what AI can do for your trading in 2024 in terms of automation, and even better still, you don't even have to know any coding skills whatsoever. It's possibly the future of trading and trading automation. And in this video, I'm going to take you through how you generate a basic trading strategy idea, get that into ChatGPT, and let ChatGPT do all the hard work for you, and even produce the code for the script for the strategy. Then we're going to go into TradingView and its language Pine Script and get you a fully working back-tested strategy for you to put into your trading. So let's get started. So the first thing we need is ChatGPT, and you can do a simple Google search for that. You'll find it under openai.com, and on the screen now we've got the home page, and then just hit the try ChatGPT button, sign up, totally free, and then you're ready to go. Once in there, you will come to a home screen like this, and you can start, you see down there on the bottom, you can start putting your messages into ChatGPT. And all you need to do is write a simple script. And I suppose my tip here is the more you feed it, the better the outcome. It's that garbage in, garbage out thing. So if you just ask it to make a basic strategy, don't think you're going to get much luck there in the longer term. You've got to feed it all the inputs, you know, the rules, the entries, exits, you know, the things you're looking for, the outcomes, you know, what sort of risk return you are looking for, win ratios, you know, the whole lot. As you get more experienced and refine it further, you'll get better at it. But for the moment, let's just take it to a basic script to get you started. So all I've done here is just type in generate a Pine Script code for a trading strategy that uses moving averages and RSI to determine entry and exit points. And that is literally all you have to do. And then this little arrow button here you hit, and off it goes and works its magic. And it doesn't take very long at all. It really is quick. And this is another beauty of ChatGPT. It saves you, a massive amount of time. And if you're not good, as you can see, with the coding or inexperienced, then this is gonna be a game changer. Now, I did say you don't need any coding experience, but obviously if you do have coding experience, then again, it makes the whole thing far more easy. But here we go. It's even telling you what it's given you, why it's given you it, how you would do it, and you can, even telling you how to customize further. And that's it. It then saves that script for you. So all you'd have to do then is simply take out that code and move it over into Pine Script, which is in TradingView. It's really as simple as that. So that's the next stage of the whole process. We're going to just literally highlight the whole lot. You can just do a control, copy, control C, control V, as you will see in a moment. So TradingView is where we'll bring our strategy to life. It's one of the most popular charting packages out there, and it does have this fantastic option called Pine Script, where you can build and develop your own strategies if you have some coding skill and want to learn the Pine Script language. But the beauty of what we're doing here is that we don't need to learn that language as thoroughly as just a few years ago, because we can use ChatGPT as our coder in the whole process. So now it's come to the process of getting it in and seeing how the strategy performs. So first of all, let's find the Pine editor. Now down the bottom there you'll see a few tabs: stock screener, Pine editor, strategy tester, and trading panel. We want the Pine editor, and if we just pull up the screen there, you can see by just flicking in amongst them you can get into the various drop downs, and we want the Pine editor. And this is where we're going to paste our ChatGPT generated code. So like I said, go back to ChatGPT, copy out the code, and then like I said, paste it quite simply into the Pine editor. So I've done that, and you can just see there all the codes in there for what we want to do. We can see we got our moving averages, our RSI, overbought and oversold, all the conditions that we need for the entry and the exit. So what I've done now is I hit the save button, and as you can see we got this red line or red box here, and it's going to highlight the errors in the code. And again, this is the beauty of ChatGPT. We can then copy that line out back into ChatGPT and basically tell ChatGPT, well, it's got something wrong. Please can you rewrite the script, solving this problem. And then all we literally do is then when we've generated the new code in ChatGPT is to copy and paste it back out, clearing out this old stuff and then putting on the new one and then hitting the save button. And then if you get the red box again, just put it back into ChatGPT and it will have a rethink and it will recalc, and then you'll go through that same process. You might have a few goes of doing this, but this is ChatGPT doing the code programming solving for you, which as a non-coder you could spend hours and hours, days and days trying to learn this sort of stuff to try and get it right. So I'm just going to go back now and put that into ChatGPT and produce a new set of code. So right, we've got the new code. Let's hit save and see what we get. Hit the save and look at that, no errors this time, so that is a very good start. But just before we move on, you can go up into this box bit here and rename your strategy. You can see I've got another one there on the Renko Darvas. Let's call it something different. So I'm just going to double click there. Let's call it RSI Chat GPT, and then just hit save. And as you can see, there you go. Then your scripts are going to be saved. But also, just a few tips here. If you really like your strategy, you want to make it known to the bigger world, you can publish your script. There's some various other functionality here about the editor window and the user manuals. If you get stuck, want to learn more, you want to get into the Pine Script, it's all down here, your logs, the whole lot. So what do we do next? We now need to apply our strategy to the chart, and I've just got the S&P up here. Play around with the markets as you want and the time frames, and it's this button we're interested in down here, add to chart. So we literally hit that button and voila, it's actually added that strategy to that chart. And I'm just going to pull up this chart just a bit further so you can see what's going on in here. Let's tidy that up a little bit. So this is now where a bit of experience comes into the process and playing around with ChatGPT. It's still pretty basic at the moment. You can see that I haven't put buy or sell indicators on top of the chart. I haven't put the indicators on top of the chart, so you can see the actual strategy sort of playing out over time. This is just raw basics. What it's done here is it's taken those rules, and as you can see at the bottom, which we're just going to talk about in a minute, is the back test of the process to see whether our idea works. And in trading, that is massively important to give you the confidence that your idea is a good one. You can see where that strategy works, where it doesn't work, you can refine it further. So that's what I was saying about the amount of iterations you might have to go through using ChatGPT to refine your strategy further, customize the script if you really want to. You might be lucky, home run first of all, but like I said, refining and going through a proper structured systematic process really, because you might get a good looking result first up, but often that can be very wrong. The coding, your idea can be misleading. It all sounds very good, but in practice it isn't. So there's got to be some common sense applied to it. Just don't go willy-nilly into believing what you see on the screen. Test it thoroughly, go through the data and check it out first. And once you've got it on one chart, you can flick between other charts and see what results it brings up for you. It might be better in certain markets than others. Like I said, we're not getting many trades on the daily chart, so here you might want to take it down to say the 1 hour chart to see what sort of things you get. So that's basic process of getting the strategy into the system, the TradingView, the Pine Script. Let's just have a little talk now about backtesting. So as we previously saw, I was playing around with, the backtest functionality there. We've put our chart on, we got the rules in, and it's given us these numbers. So what is it trying to tell us at the moment? So let's again make that a bit bigger. We don't need the chart for the moment. We got Microsoft on the 1 hour chart here, and this top bar here, it's basically telling us in the period that it backtested 7 trades, it won 71% of them, which is pretty decent. Profit factor 1.5, just about. Very small drawdown. Average trade return 8.65 US dollars. But over the backtest, it only made $60, which is a 0.01% return. You're wondering how does it come up with those numbers and inputs? Well, this little hexagon up here, click on that and you can mess around with the properties. So that's basically added $1 million, pounds, whatever it is, and it's saying each trade is 1 contract. There's no commission slippage, those sort of inputs in there. Have a play around with those numbers, see what it does to it. You can like pyramid trades, and well, that can improve the results. If you just did that, for example, put 5 pyramid trades in a row, actually it doesn't do very well for the back test. So there's some simple stuff you can do to improve your strategy. Very easy. You can change the colors around. We don't have much control over the inputs as well. We can state that in the ChatGPT code too. So that's one part of the backtest, and that's the overview of this chart. We can then go into the performance summary, where we can see all the different profits, losses, max run-ups, drawdowns. If you compared it to a buy and hold strategy, Sharpe ratio, pretty awful number there. All the stats that you need in your analysis process. And we can even go in by trade. If we just scroll down as well, we can see the backtest actually ran from 2014, so we really don't get many trades even in the 1 hour window with this setup that ChatGPT gave us. So for me, it's not a strategy that I'd be using very well. You can see in the properties, date range, symbol info, strategy properties, you can see that size and the contracts. It's a starting point, right? So it's now down to you to start to think outside the box, some smart thinking, work out what you need to do to make this a much better strategy. And it's not just about buy and sell, remember, and entry and exits. It's trade management, using trailing stops, just changing the order size. Is that worth doing to improve the results and what you get? I was just using 10% per trade and I get 10% return over that year, that back test period. It's still not very good at all. It's the refining process which is most important once you get into it. And is it the right market for this strategy? Does it work better, say, if we hit Cocoa? No, it doesn't. The Nasdaq 100, not at all. Various other markets that we can play with. It's really down to you to adjust and refine, tweak the parameters of the Pine Script editor by going back into ChatGPT. Does it suit your risk tolerance and preferences, your aspirations for the strategy? And then just rerun the back test and keep that process, the iterations going round and round until you're happy, and then create a systematic trading process around what you have done. So let's say we're not happy with the results and we've been having a think and we need to optimize the strategy further. We want to get it to the next level. Like I said, it's back to ChatGPT, and we can use the AI to optimize and enhance our trading strategy further. So let's just have a play around with that, just to give you an example of what you could possibly do. So as you see, we're back in ChatGPT now. Down the bottom, I've just put in the prompt. How can we improve this moving average and RSI based strategy for better performance? Again, just hit the arrow button and see what it comes up with. You could be at that point more specific. You could say, well, add me in this indicator or use this type of filter. Like it's saying here, it's looking like, it's saying use a volatility filter. So it's here, ATR filter. It's saying use the average true range to ensure the market has sufficient volatility. For instance, you might only enter trades when the ATR is above a certain threshold. It's saying use Bollinger Bands. Use Bollinger Bands to identify high volatility periods, entering trades. And you can see it's got the script adjustments here. It's asking, here's a dynamic RSI level, which is really good, which means we can start to change the inputs. Something for trend confirmation. We can use multi-time frame analysis. And here, as you can see, it's putting out here, including risk management parameters as well. And it's actually warning what I was saying about overfitting, putting that human bias into the process. You can't really tailor it into, producing fantastic results, because often you will fail and fall over at that point. I like to test it across multi time frames, chart types, markets, for I'm confident that something will work. Now you can see it's optimized, the results there somewhat, with a lot of different suggestions. So you could now just come in and say, please write me a script that produces a 70% win rate using those enhancements you suggest, and then again hit the button. Now remember, it's all about the data quality as well. It's only going to be hypothetical here, so it's going to find data that it can use. It's not going to maybe be real-time live data. You can go away and plug that into here as well, so you can do all your back testing through there if you want. But the beauty of taking it to TradingView and the Pine Script is, we've got data in there. So although this might come out with a 70% idea for you, by the time you run it through the Pine editor and TradingView, you might only come and see that you've got 50% win ratio. So again, it's back, tell ChatGPT that and enhance further. So I'm just going to quickly hit that button and see what it says, and it's actually telling me it's challenging and not realistic, as market conditions are unpredictable, etc, etc. It's understandable. It's a very good win rate by just putting it in there for example. But you can start to see now how it's adding in the new code. We've got our RSIs in there, we've got our volatility filter, our dynamic RSI, our trend confirmation, and ADX filter. It's really going to town on what it's putting in here. Moving averages, the strategy logic, position sizing and risk management. And once that's done, it's exactly the same process. Copy it in and go through until the system works. You might have a few errors in there to start with. Like I said, go back, tell it the error, reconfigure, go back, keep that process going until you get the desired end result that you want. Now, like I said earlier, you could enhance the script to put the buy and sell indicators on top of the chart if you so choose. You can make it look as fancy as you like once you get experience. But if you don't want to do that, I've just added the actual indicators from the code, and you can go down the code and you can see we got the two moving averages, 50 and 200, and the RSI set to 14. So we know the inputs. And then you might be saying, well, I've got this far, I can't really watch the charts all day. Can we create some sort of alerts around the strategy? Well, yes, we could. We could create triggers around what goes on. So we know that to make the strategy work here, we would need alert on those two crossing and the RSI to be above the 70 and coming back down. As you can see, it hasn't happened yet there on NVIDIA, so we wouldn't be having a trade. But at its real basic levels, then you could maybe add an alert there. You could say the 200 crossing the 50, maybe once per bar close. We're doing this on the 1 hour chart, and you could then quite simply then hit create, and that's going to stay there until that triggers. Now unfortunately, unless you're putting that in the code, you can't do like if and ands or ors with these triggers, so you might have to set a separate one on the RSI there. For example, you might say crossing down through 70 or crossing up through 70 for the sell trigger, or coming up through 30 for the buy trigger. Totally up to you, but then at least you are covering off your bases for the the strategy actually executing. And if you want to get really fancy, you can create something called a webhook, where you can send yourself coded messages, whereas it says here you create your alert. Under notifications you can tick webhook URL. There's a bit about it there to learn more about it. You can, as it says here, send a post request to your specified URL when your alert triggers. So we could have that. You can set up two-factor authentication there for security. We go back to the settings, and then we would put that in there. That is very good for linking up to other software packages. If you're in a crypto trading, I've seen many software that ask you for a webhook so you can link their automation into TradingView as well. You can send it, get email sent out to you. There's lots of options there to tailor. And again, as you get more experience, just build that into the ChatGPT script anyway. It can do it for you. So there you go. We've created our first AI-based trading strategy. We've utilized ChatGPT. We've given it some ideas. It spat out the code for us, and in this instance we're using Pine Script in TradingView, which is a very popular package for millions of you out there using technical analysis. Don't forget, you can also do the same thing, say using Python if you're a bit more advanced or know a bit more in that area as well. So the choices are endless here now with AI, and something as simple as ChatGPT. And in today's video we've also learned about backtesting, optimization, and thinking outside the box to create the ultimate strategy. And it's not, I suppose the big takeaway is it's garbage in, garbage out. So you've got to apply a bit of smart thinking and outside the box approach to getting the ultimate strategy. It's not as easy as just coming in saying make me a winning strategy and off you go. It's a bit harder than that. But if you've liked today's video, please give us the thumbs up. It always helps the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell icons to get future notification of content such as this. Now, if you want to take your trading to the next level, also created a new traders club on YouTube, and I'm going to put a link to that at the end of this video and in the description below if you want to find out more. But if you want access to me, access to other traders asking all sorts of questions, we've got live streams, live trading, the whole lot. It's all in there. It's worth you joining and having a look. A fantastic club that I'm hoping to build out a community around. So that link coming up now.